when the outside is ravaged by fierce winds and snow. This 14-ton Apocalypse level heavy-duty RV. Absolutely the safest shelter. Bulletproof polyurethane body coating. The interior is luxurious and spacious. There are also various heating facilities and seating areas. When snow is falling heavily outside, you can enjoy delicious food, even with an open kitchen. When tired, crawl into the bedroom above to rest. Frelgood during the blizzard period. It was already a white expanse. Temperature dropped to minus 20 degrees Celsius. This kind of harsh weather was exactly what the couple longed for. Often camping in the mountains, Ati was already very familiar with the road. Install snow chains on the tires in advance. Then travel at a speed of 2.5 miles per hour. After all, the road was winding and muddy. If things go wrong, we might get stuck in a quagmire. Whenever I see the large lake surface on the left, this means they have arrived at their safe haven. The superior geographical environment of being nestled between mountains and water. Furthermore, there is a water supply facility under the pine tree. It can provide the two with an inexhaustible water source. However, for this type of heavy-duty, the vehicle body must be kept level. Otherwise, it will affect the overall center of gravity of the vehicle. After adjusting the front of the car, ensured the level was exactly 0 degrees. You can then forcefully pull out the RV's extension panel and the folding ladder used for entry and exit. Secure it firmly to the doorsill. Easy to enter and exit. As the howling wind and blizzard subsided, ATI opened the car door and entered. Take off the wet and heavy snow boots. Open the car windows to let in light. Anyone who has seen this RV knows its 4x4 space requirement. Therefore, it is necessary to use an automatic winch. Lower the tailgate. Then push the car door open forcefully. This will allow you to expand your space. Seeing this, you're probably thinking, the heat has all escaped. ATR already had a plan to deal with this, a brand new set of thickened, transparent hard film. According to the reserved edge of the car door, position, and Velcro, this will seal the space perfectly. Braving a blizzard, with temperatures dropping to minus 10 degrees Celsius, the installation of the rear extension is finally complete. Every time it snows, ATI would also take a bite. The expansion layer is now complete. However, the roof of the car was already covered with a lot of snow. This is not good news for Ati's RV. It will affect the solar panels. Therefore, it is still necessary to sweep away the snow regularly. To be completed. AT was already shivering from the cold, although it has a built-in heater for heating in the RV. But the temperature of the large fireplace is self-evident. Besides single sofas, there are also beds available. Aerodynamic guide above the front of the car. It has long been transformed into a comfortable little home. When a biting cold wind was still blowing outside, the interior fireplace was already burning brightly. Storage on the side of the vehicle. Take out the furniture. The two of them packed together. The restaurant is different from For example, this Manket open kitchen. And under such a magnificent snow scene, naturally, one should enjoy a performance. Relax your mind and body. As darkness fell, the interior lights of dusk intertwined with blue tones. The two divided the work for the day. The refrigerator on the side of the sofa is essential. Being able to have a fresh dinner in the wild. Dim lighting illuminates the dazzling. The sense of security of this RV. Adding some zombies would make it perfect. To avoid getting frozen grass on the car body at night, Artie then got out of the car and dealt with the situation. Wait for it to heat up for a while. The noodles in the pot were already steaming hot. The chicken thigh meat was crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. Chicken leg noodles for one person. It can definitely dispel all fatigue. Blizzards often live on the mountain. The snow on the ground was as distinct as grains of sugar. After getting out of the car and testing the engine, you can come back and make yourself a hot drink, brewing up my sleepiness for today. Until late at night, the illness was already covered by heat. The seemingly gentle snow outside. Sprinklers fell. The temperature had already plummeted to nearly minus 20 degrees Celsius. It was already a lot. The surrounding environment ensures safety. Only then did the two feel safe enough to turn off the lights. Climb up to the bedroom. The sense of security that was once protected has been lost. Congrats, you made it. Let me guess. You're already in bed. Perfect time to watch the relaxing hunger and cold survival. Grab your phone, the one at 31% battery. Time for the wild man's bedtime story. This RV, a monument to questionable life choices. It just keeps climbing. It's not powered by an engine, but by a desperate need to be left alone. When this chunky van finally reached the top, Old Dow was genuinely shocked that it actually worked. He eagerly opened the door and was immediately punched by the wind. This was nature's way of saying nope. The equipment up here was basically an ice sculpture. A very expensive, frosty lawn ornament. Dressed for a day at the beach, Old Dow scurried back inside like a scared squirrel. He fumbled with the gas cylinder, praying the van's arteries wouldn't freeze solid. Please, don't freeze, please. Back inside, Lao Dao exhaled a cloud of pure relief. This RV is, shall we say, vintage. Vintage enough that the heater just laughed at him. A classic case of head scratching. He figured the wind was being a total jerk and picking a fight with his heater. Time to play musical RV. He gave it a quick spin, so its air hole wasn't getting blasted. Luckily, the mountaintop was one giant parking spot, so repositioning the beast was easy. And just like that, the furnace was happy again. He could finally unclench. out here in the boonies. Cell service is a myth. So Lao Dao had to put the space dish outside. Gotta get that sweet, sweet Starlink. With technology conquered, he retreated to his cave, fired up the kettle, and prescribed himself some emergency ramen therapy. Fun fact from our hero. This RV is a 96 classic, but for an old-timer, it's rocking fancy double-pane windows. So the insulation isn't a total joke. Noodles consumed. He felt significantly less frosty. The weather outside, however, was still throwing a fit. Dressed like the Michelin Man, he ventured out, mostly to make sure his house hadn't blown away. Just the sound of the wind was enough to freeze your bones. You had to wonder if this tin can would survive the car wash from hell. Lao Dao quickly decided nope and tried to go inside. Surprise, he was locked out. The main door was now an ice sculpture, and it refused to budge. Luckily, the cab offered a secret passage. Otherwise, he would have become a permanent, frozen addition to the scenery. Inside, the mood lighting was on point. The RV was basically a cozy fortress. Time to whip up some dinner. Nothing fancy. Just a couple of beef burgers, which he devoured like a king. Best 5-star meal ever. It was easy to forget the impending ice age outside. The next morning, everything was still aggressively white. And yep, the door was frozen shut. Again, the old man began his epic battle with the door. And the view that greeted him was nuts. It's amazing how this old RV kept him from freezing his butt off. At this point, the front of the vehicle was basically an ice sculpture. The icicles were some serious Sub-Zero bling. All right, the moment of truth. Will this van cycle even start? Tao hops in to find out. He turns the key, and it screams at him. But then, it purrs to life. The relief is palpable. With the engine running, it's time for Phase 2, Operation Dice. The giant icicles are easy enough, but the windshield's ice shield, that's a different beast. No fancy tools here. Just a shovel and some serious elbow grease. I think it's getting thicker. Two hours later, after winning the ice war, his RV is finally visible again. But now he has to drive on this ice rink of a road. His top speed, terrified tortoise. He just creeps on down. Only when the ice is gone can his butt cheeks finally unclench. But for Dao, there is no rest setting. He gets home, tidies up a bit, and immediately leaves again. This time, with his trusty dog, Gubao, for a hike. As they climb higher, they basically enter Narnia. With Gubao as the tour guide, old Dao finally picks a spot. Not too windy. Perfect. The anchor point, a very patient tree. Up goes the glorious green roof. With his little kingdom established, he can now build the bedroom. For a seasoned pro, like old Cow, this tent is basically child's play. With his mansion complete, it's time for some artisanal snowmelt and a well-deserved sit-down. Next, he auditions some sticks. With a few quick whittles, Voila, kindling. It wasn't exactly Arctic out, but he was missing his cozy RV. So this campfire had one job: provide that sweet, sweet warmth. The alternative was becoming a kusa. Time flies when you're playing Pioneer. Suddenly, it's night, and after all that work, his stomach is rumbling. First, a gourmet meal for Gubao, the dog. A big bowl of meat sauce. As for the human's dinner, it was significantly less fancy. He just mushed some ready meals together. A quick reheat, and born appetite. From the way he's inhaling it, you'd think it was five-star cuisine. A little snow can't hide my glorious past. And it definitely can't stop my feet. Lao Tao is still scribbling about freedom and stuff, all the way to the next peak.